First of all, we must remind the borders, the limits of this aperture. Anterior border is symphysis puffa. Posterior border is the apex of coccyx. And lateral borders are sciatic tubercles. So we have the figure of rhombus, the shape of rhomb. And then we can see that it is not plain because the sciatic tubercles are lower than symphysis. So the soft tissue which covers this opening has the angle which opens upwards. Then we divide the perineum into two regions.
Yes.
In order to divide, we make the transverse line which connects the sciatic tubercles. So all the perineum is divided into two parts or two triangles. Anterior triangle is called urogenital region because it is the place of location of the opening of urethra, the opening of vagina, and posterior region. It is anal region because here is the opening of anal opening. So both regions have triangle forms shape. Then what about these soft tissues? These soft tissues are the plates formed by some muscles and some fascia. And the plates of muscle and fascia, which has the function of supporting of the organs and preventing them from some damages, injuries, are called diaphragms. And according to two regions, there are two diaphragms. First of all, anterior part, urogenital part, is covered with urogenital diaphragm. There are three layers of fascia, and between them there are two layers of muscles. And if we see layer by layer from the skin, we start from the inferior surface until superior. Under the skin there is superficial fascia. It is common fascia that covers all the perineum, from the coccygeal bone until pubic symphysis. Then follows the
external fascia.
External fascia is called superficial fascia of perineum.
Which covered
The whole perineum.
Under the skin.
Under the skin. Then passes the superficial layer of muscles, and it consists of three pairs of muscles. The posterior muscle, very thin, here it is. It is superficial transverse muscle of perineum. It starts from the sciatic tubercle, and these two muscles meet each other and form the tendinium centrum of perineum. Center of perineum. The joining of the muscles of the left and the right sides is center tendinium. The right and the left muscle meet each other and join in centrum tendinium perineum. Then the most lateral muscle, this one, it is ischiocavernosus. The name of the muscle tells us that it starts from the ischiatic bone and passes until the cavernous body. And the main function of this muscle is erection.
Yes.
And the medial muscle, bulbospongiosus muscle. The name of the muscle tells us that it in male starts from the bulb of penis and then passes until the spongious body. And in male, the muscle has function of ejaculation. And in female, there are some differences. First of them, the transverse superficial muscle is very
Smaller than-
or maybe absent
In female.
in female. And also, this muscle, bulbus spongiosus, surround the opening of vagina and has the function of constriction of the opening of vagina. Another function than in male. Then, after this layer of muscle, passes the layer of fascia. This fascia is called inferior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. And this fascia divides the superficial layer of muscle from the deep layer. The deep layer. Here we can see very wide muscle. Here it is. It is the widest muscle of the diaphragm, which is called deep transverse muscle of urogenital diaphragm, or musculus transversus perineae profundus. It is paired muscles, and two muscles also join each other in centrum tendinum. In centrum tendinum. And both muscles, superficial and deep transverse muscles, have the main function of diaphragm. They support and prevent the organs of the pelvis. And some fibers of this muscle around the urethra have the circular direction and form the sphincter for urethra. Sphincter for urethra. So there are two muscles, deep transverse muscle and sphincter urethra. The deep layer consists of two muscles. And after the deep layer of muscle follows the third fascia. It is called superior fascia of urogenital diaphragm. So we have the following structure under the skin.
Sir,
First of all, superficial fascia of perineum, the superficial muscular layer, then
Diaphragm.
inferior fascia of urogenital diaphragm, deep layer of muscles, and then superior fascia.
Yes, sir.
And so
Superficial-
these five layers form urogenital diaphragm. Okay, then the anal region also is closed by diaphragm, and it is called pelvic diaphragm. And it also consists of three fascia and two layers of muscles. But the position of fascia and muscle is different. First of all, the superficial fascia continues until the coccyx and sacrum, and it covers all the diaphragm. Then follows another fascia, inferior fascia of pelvic diaphragm, and it covers all the muscles, And then follows the superficial layer of muscles, and there is only one muscle here. It is external sphincter of anus. The superior anal sphincter, only one muscle. It has the origin on the apex of coccyx. And there are two muscles which form the deep layers. Anterior part of diaphragm forms with the muscle with oblique direction. It is called levator ani. And posterior part of diaphragm is formed by coccygeal muscle, musculus coccygeus. It starts from the coccygeal and sacral bone and finishes at the sciatic bone. So these muscles form the deep layer. And then follows upper than these muscles, follows the superior fascia of pelvic diaphragm. It covers all the muscle. It is the parietal lamina of this fascia, and then it continues on some organs and make the capsule and the septs between them. For example, the visceral layer of this pelvic fascia forms the capsule for prostate gland in male, and it forms the sept which divide the rectum from vagina in female pelvis. So there are two lamina, visceral and parietal lamina of the superior fascia of pelvic diaphragm. The item is
Excuse me, sir. Sir,
finished. Now, your questions? No?